Hey everyone, welcome to this episode of Ruff Talk VR. Today we're talking about a classic sport game in VR, that's tennis.
Absolutely psyched.
Yeah, geez, I've loved tennis games since I was a little kid. I mean, they've always been fun on consoles, but in VR, I think is a whole different animal.
Oh yeah, well, I love tennis in real life. Not that I'm out there playing every weekend.
It's
I don't
a lot
do
like
that,
golf. I like it, but I suck at it in
I'm
real
not
life.
the greatest. I've had like one claim to fame tennis thing, beating a kid after summer camp when we were. I'm guessing we were like 10 years old or something, and he'd come back from tennis camp, and we went to the tennis court, and he taught me some shit, and then he got a whooping on it.
In 1980, Stratus was a hell of a tennis player.
Yeah, I had my brief moment in the sun, but no, I've always enjoyed just going and doing the volleys back and forth.
Yeah, whether real life, it was always one of my favorite gym sports, and then also
This was must needed for the Quest. Yeah, absolutely must needed.
It's a no-brainer. You know, we have ping pong.
Yeah.
We have
darts.
We have darts. We have golf. We have all these classic sports. We have baseball, but no tennis. So in comes first-person tennis, the real tennis simulator, made by a developer.
Better than the fake ones.
Yeah. I mean, the only reason I say the real tennis simulator is because that's in the app name. It's first-person tennis, the real tennis simulator. It's made by a developer, Mikori Games.
You will hear that when you load in.
Yeah.
Mikori Games.
I can't help but say it like that because that's exactly how they say it.
I always want to say like Mikori or something.
No, but they let you know how it's pronounced. You just hear it.
Absolutely.
Open up that app, Mikori Games. But it's a well done game. It's obviously a sports simulator, but it's tennis. You know, I wouldn't expect them to call it an action game. Net. Yeah, but it just came out on the metaquest on June 2nd, 2022.
So it's relatively new.
Relatively new. It's a single player and multiplayer game. So that's good. Imagine playing tennis and you're forced to stay just you. That would be no fun. You'd run out of things to do very fast. So luckily they have a very good multiplayer with a decent, online following as well. The game is...
Yeah, there's no problem getting matches online.
No,
I'll say that right now.
They have a ready for a challenge ticker, which I saw somebody in the reviews leave a bad... I love talking about like the stupid bad reviews we see.
Yeah, and they're always fun.
There was one.
We just never give them names so they don't feel credited for it. So if they ever hear it, it's not like it's encouragement.
No.
So nobody knows it was you.
Yeah, definitely don't be trolling developers with 1-star reviews. No, that's not right.
It's happened.
But yeah, somebody was like, I don't understand what the ready for a challenge ticker is. And like when you go into the main menu on this game, on the bottom left, there's like a ticker that you can turn on or off that says ready for a challenge.
I'm ready to do it.
So if you leave it on,
you're ready.
People are going to challenge you.
They'll see it.
If not, they won't. So it's very straightforward what's going on with there.
I don't know why people just don't press on something to see what it may or may not do. Like click on the clicker and see what happens.
Yeah, it's very, very straightforward. I mean, geez, I think I played for a minute before I got my first invite in this.
Yeah, I got, if I'm willing to accept things like that, yeah, it's pretty consistent. Mm-hmm. And sometimes it'll be the same person.
Yeah, they're just going
like,
through.
Wow, they just really want to just throw a beating, I guess, huh?
But so yeah, I mentioned single player, multiplayer. The multiplayer is pretty straightforward. It's just one-on-one matches. There's no like built-in in-game tournaments or anything like that. Mm-hmm. They advertise their Discord server on the main screen as well. But yeah, if you go hop in their Discord, they set up a bunch of community events, tournaments, things like that. But built-in multiplayer is just find a match or host a match and
you're
face
playing.
People. Yeah, pretty straightforward. Single player has practice drills, so you can practice your serve, your backhand, whatever you want to practice.
Which I highly recommend paying that button special attention when you first start.
Especially the serving, because tennis, it's not like you can just continuously mess up your serve and you don't get punished for it. In tennis, you can mess up your serve once, and then it'll say second serve. And then if you mess it up again,
serve.
It gives points to the other person. So you don't want to learn how to serve in game, like in an actual match, in my opinion. Go figure that stuff out in the practice.
Yeah, and it's not backyard tennis. So if you're serving from the back right side of the court, you have to serve the ball into a play area on the front left side of the court, and then vice versa for when it swaps. But yeah, they have pretty strict rules, and the line judge is pretty accurate when he's making the calls, especially on my favorites when like you hit the ball and it hits the line, and sometimes it's in your favor, Sometimes it's not.
Yeah, so I always like to role play with these games. So sometimes I'll be doing, because they have, so I mentioned, the single player, they have the drills. They also have like more of a quick match, but then they have tournaments. So you can go in and you do like a campaign. Pretty much. I say campaign, there's 13 tournaments in it.
Yeah,
That's the campaign. But it's really cool, actually. You make a character, you give him a name, you assign some stats to him, which you do this to go into multiplayer as well. You have like a separate...
You can customize them out.
Yeah, you change the way he looks. You pick his gender, his face, his outfit, his racket color. And again, they give you stat points and you have to assign them. And then in the tournaments, there's like 5 rounds per tournament. And you play round 1, you win, you go on until you lose. And once you lose once, the tournament's over, you go do the next tournament.
Yep.
So
no, it's legit tournament style, but they say the 13 tournaments, 4 slams, and 9 masters. So
Yeah.
I mean, there's plenty to do.
yeah, it's definitely made by people who are real tennis fans.
Yeah.
The physics in it are in my opinion, really good. They have 2 different kind of physics options. They have arcade mode and simulation. I play on arcade, full disclosure for the tournaments and stuff. Yeah, I get the most enjoyment out of arcade, but that's just because of my level of proficiency.
Yeah.
I can already see if I was better at the game,
You would turn it off.
yeah, I would go to simulation mode in a heartbeat.
But even simulation is not, my biggest concern was that with the game wasn't going to be graphics. It was going to be how's the ball going to react, and will it go where you want it to? And if you make a mistake, will it react accordingly? And they seem to have nailed it.
yeah,
So even in simulation mode, it's still...
Yeah, they don't hold your, in arcade and simulation, neither one they hold your hand, but neither one the physics feels unrealistic at all. We reviewed bocce last week, and we were saying in the bocce review, you let go of that ball, and you already know if you threw it too hard, too soft. It's that same thing for tennis in here.
Absolutely.
The second your racket hits that ball, you already know if you hit it at the wrong angle, you hit it too hard, whatever. There's been times I just, because it's tennis, you're reacting fast. I hit it, and I already know I swung too hard to the left or too wide of an angle at the left. And I'm like, that's going to be a fault. And what do you know? It's a fault. But there's times, man, so sorry to change subject, but like the volleying in this game is amazing. You can go back and forth with an opponent for minutes.
I have never played console tennis or tennis in real life that is allowed for such a nice volley back and forth.
I know you can in like, Elven table tennis. Elven, I love that
11?
shout out. 11
Yeah.
table tennis. But I'm not good enough in that game to get that kind of volley.
Not with the
AI.
Not with the AI.
But in this game, you'll casually get minute-long volley.
Yeah, you're if you don't have a power serve, you're working for the whole game.
Yeah, so like I was saying,
But it's nice because it works. It's like it feels good to go out there and it not just end in 2 seconds. Like you feel like you've put a couple of minutes. I think you said you had like 3 or 4 minute volley back and forth with
and
one of the AI. And it's like, because it feels good. Because now you don't want to.
And it's like, so if you're just hitting it right to them, they're probably going to.
Oh, they're going to hit it back.
So you have to be smart about your placement of it. That's what I was saying before. It's like, so even when you're just doing your volleys, the physics are good. When you mess up, you can tell you messed up, but you can tell when you make a nice shot too. You can feel it. You're like, I was aiming for that corner.
Especially it goes for the corner, bounces right down, kabling.
And I like to role play sometimes. I was saying that before, like, the referee's pretty consistent with their calls.
Line judge.
I'll be honest, the line judge. Sorry, I'm not a tennis diehard with spectating. So I don't know all the technical terminology with line judge, but nonetheless,
I don't even know if it's called a line judge.
That's just what you're calling it. My
calling
goodness. Oh fuck it, then I'll call him the referee. So the referee, he's pretty good with his calls. Let's be real. But in the moment when I'm 10 minutes into a set against a dude,
you want to dispute?
Man, I'll be like, that wasn't out. And why are you gonna call it out for him? Or every time I hit it towards him, but then when he hits it towards me, you're gonna let it go out. I like to pretend that I argue with the ref.
Better be careful because they turn on that audio so the dude can hear you. Technically, you'd probably lose points or get thrown out.
Oh, if it was
that.
real tennis for unsportsmanlike conduct, yeah, I know.
Yeah, you can't behave that way.
Yep. Sometimes I'll taunt and
So
stuff.
I think even arguing with them will get you kind of in some sort of trouble in real life.
Yeah, but it's just fun thing for me to do in the heat of a match with a computer. Just get in the moment, be like, "What are you doing, Colin? That's not out,"
Oh, and they get some funny
commentary.
Yeah, so they got some funny commentary, make you feel bad.
They'll be like, so they have the classic like tennis commentary where it's just kind of like one line, commenting on a play. And then, so let's say you have a really nice play where we were talking about like before, you hit it right on the corner, boom, smooth. You might hear the announcer go, "It's amazing what you can do when you can just handle the pressure," or something like that. Or let's say you finish a whole game and you lose. And they'll say something like, "Oh, that's no good. That was a bad round of tennis," something like that.
It's a real kick in the nuts.
Come on, man! I did my best. That guy was ranked because there's rankings in the tournament too. So you'll see your guy starts at ranking 50. The way tournaments go, you get whoever. I faced the guy who's ranked 23. Of course, he beat my ass. I don't freaking talk shit to me as the ref afterwards.
Yeah, no, it's funny because I appreciate the banter.
Oh, I love it.
I have it turned way down, so I hear the score judging.
15
love. 30 love.
Deuces.
Advantage.
Yes.
Advantage. We're always imitating the.
Well, there's something. It sounds nice. I can't explain it.
Yeah, it's a very comforting sounding.
There's not
score
somebody who
makes you feel very proper.
Well, let's be real. If somebody's more used to like football commentary, either American
they're
football,
gonna get right in there and they're gonna rip up that turf.
Yeah, just nonstop talking.
It's gonna be a brawl.
The little elegant, just nice play.
Oh no! Even sometimes when we play, I'll do the commentary to try to throw you off.
Oh yeah.
It's all coming down to this serve.
He's feeling the pressure now.
He's feeling the strain and the pressure.
Yeah, we clearly
the serve is a matchmaking decision.
We clearly have a lot of fun, but you know what's interesting about this game? I've had equal amount of fun in totally different ways playing multiplayer one-on-one against you.
Yeah.
And doing the tournament mode.
Yeah. The AI in the tournaments don't feel like AI to me.
No, they play really good.
Yeah, they feel like I'm playing a tennis. Look, I had a lot of concerns with, first was the physics of the ball. How's it going to respond? Do you really have any control over it, or is it like...
Which check? Yep, they do.
Yep, they nailed that. Next was, the environment, and they give you a multitude of different...
I think they say 7 different court surfaces.
Clay, here's what's crazy. I've changed them once. I'm content with the...
Well, when you do the tournaments, too, it's different courses.
Yeah, you're playing in different places.
Yeah, it'll say the geographic location.
So, clay, grass, hard, the blue-green... What is it? Blue, green, hard. And there's a couple more.
And they seem like, I don't know if it's actually programmed this way into the game, but I'm just saying visually, when I move from tournament to tournament, not only is the surface different, the screen location is different. And like some courses, the screen seems like it's closer, and others it's far away. Sometimes the court seems bigger. I don't know if it actually is. I'm just saying, like, perception-wise.
It definitely, you get the definite new location feel for sure.
Yeah, it's like you make it to the example, the second or the quarterfinal in a tournament, so you're pretty used to that course. Especially, like I said, I'm having 10, 12-minute sets against people. And then you go to a whole new course. Yeah, it's a little bit of like, oh, my God, this is a whole different place.
Yeah, and with real life, this is what also excited me, too, before we played it, was like, I was like, there's no way that you can pull off full-scale tennis court in VR. I'm thinking of like the play area you must need to do it, and I'm like, how the hell are they going to do it? Because it's not like, and I'm not knocking. Well, I'll call it Elvin table.
Yeah, 11. Yeah, that's a throwback to a classic
earlier episode. Yeah, but 11 table tennis. I mean, and because that functions great and it works good, the physics are good, the environment's good, everything's good about it. But it's a small play area. It makes sense. It's like
there's no movement. Table. You don't need to move besides just to hit the ball.
This is a full-size tennis court, and I know what it's like to stand in one at the end and serve a ball, and it's like, holy crap. So they give you they give you a bunch of options for moving around the tennis court that have made it so easy.
Yeah, some I like more than others.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. They give you choices. I mean, it would suck if it was like, this is the way it's going to be and it's the only way it could work. They're like, no. Yeah, they give you
a couple options. Like they give you, I'll start with my least favorite. They give you the manual run where like
you move your arms.
Yeah, so you want to go to the spot, you got to move your controllers up and down to initiate the run. They have
I don't like that.
No, they have an automatic run.
I like that.
That's what we usually use in multiplayer against each other.
Yeah.
The automatic run, wherever the ball goes, it
puts you in the...
You don't automatically teleport there. Your guy still moves at a travel speed.
It's crazy because it'll put you in what's almost like a guaranteed way that you can get the ball.
Doesn't mean you will.
But there are shots people can make that you're just not going to get the ball, if that makes any sense. So if someone hits a really sharp corner shot, just because you're in the vicinity, but the AI never.
But I'll add though, that's not a first-person VR tennis fault. That's a game of tennis. That's the way it is, you know.
That's the way it goes, my friend.
That's a hard shot to hit in real life.
You're not returning that shot. It's never. I shouldn't say never, but most likely wouldn't happen.
Yes, unless you're a top tennis player, you know. And they give you the miles per hour of the balls in, you know, under the scoreboard for each player. You know, on one side it shows one, the other one the other. So you can see, like, yeah, no shit, he got that on me. It was a 90 mile per hour.
Yeah, or 104 mile per hour.
I think my highest that I've gotten is like 98, 94 or something like that.
They also give you the other movement, too.
Yes, and then they give you the teleport movement, which is what I use for campaign or tournament mode, I guess you could say, offline mode. But they don't let you use teleport in online.
Multiplayer.
Yeah. I saw somebody complaining about it in reviews, but the developer gave a good response on it, where he basically explained that it's a limitation with the engine, it's impossible, and here's why. Now, I will say, man, at first it kind of like, you know, took me a little off, but I have a real appreciation for this developer. I don't know if it's one dude, I don't know if it's a team, but holy moly, does he make me laugh. And again, at first it didn't make me laugh.
The responses to
his
things?
responses to anything.
It's awesome.
So you go on the reviews, right? And look, I get it, man. I can only imagine how much time he put on this to get these type of physics. The graphics are really good. The environments are going on commentate. For the fact that this is running the way it is on the MetaQuest 2 is really impressive. But there's some reviews that claim that, like, they had some trouble with the physics, or the ball went through their racket. And
that's my favorite one.
His response whenever somebody says his ball, you know, the ball goes through the racket, he goes, "That's impossible. Cannot happen. Send me a video." And then one time somebody goes and he goes, "If you send me a video, I will refund you twice for the cost of this." So, like, my initial just reading these review responses, he never explained what's going on. He's just like, "You're wrong. It's impossible. Can't happen. No way." So I'm like, oh, that's a little interesting. I was like, I don't know how I feel about this. And then he responded to some other reviews pretty harshly, in my opinion. But then I went to his Discord, and I see people talking with him. And very quickly, I just learned, oh, that's just this dude's personality. And then by, like, another 10 minutes later, I had a genuine appreciation for it. Like, somebody, they post in his Discord, they're like, hey, you know, what do all the buttons do? I don't really see any, like, instructions in the game for what each button does. And he goes, "I'm an old school Commodore 64 guy. There's 4 buttons, press them, figure out what they do." It's like, what kind of fucking response is that? But I love it. It's hilarious. He's so he's got some funny responses for bad reviews. If you go into the app page of this, you go filter by 1-star reviews, you'll get a good laugh. Go pop in the Discord, and, you know,
I think the guy's hysterical.
I love it. Like I said, at first I was like, wow, he's responding a little unopen-minded to potential.
He's just being honest.
Yeah, and here's the thing. He didn't explain what's going on in the review response. He just said, "No way, that's impossible." But then when I went to his Discord, he actually gave a really good explanation of what's going on. He even posted a video tutorial of it. He's like, look, if you record it and you slow it down and you watch it frame by frame,
you miss the ball.
You'll see you miss the ball. But he goes, because of the way people hold their controller, it doesn't always match the way, you know, a racket would be. So he gives you a calibration option to be able to, like, turn the racket and calibrate it the way you want to. And he has a whole video post on the Discord explaining what's going on, how to fix it, how to get to your, you know, your comfort. And I was like, wow, that's a really good response. That might have been good to put in your review responses instead of just like,
you're going to waste all that time for somebody that's one spike in you.
Yeah, especially because, look, there were a couple times that I thought the ball went through my racket, but his explanation was spot on. It was great. I loved it. But I wouldn't even if that glitch was happening, which it's not, if it was happening, everything, I would not rate the game 1 star over it. No, like, that's ridiculous. There's so much content. You know, did we mention the cost of it? It's $22.99. It's a fair price for the amount of stuff in it, you know?
I always laugh at the off-number prices, $22.99.
Yeah, that's an interesting one. I don't mind paying $24.99, I'll say.
No, 24. I mean,
20
$19.99, $24.99. It just. I mean, again, I'll say if it's $22.99, it's $25 because you're gonna pay a little tax on it, most likely, depending on where you bought the game, and boom.
Yeah.
So it's 25. But it always made me smile.
Yeah, we've seen a couple of them. The $17, the $8.99, something like that. You know.
Wait until you get like the 53 cents.
But man, for a tennis game, what do you expect out of it? You expect good physics.
I expected good physics,
Good
decent
movement,
environment,
decent
good
environment,
movement, because let's be honest, tennis courts are huge.
single player, multiplayer. These are kind of the expectations. And
This game exceeded my expectations.
Yeah, they nail it. I was kind of expecting, because it's like, all right, this is the first, tennis game I'm seeing on the Quest store with like a full tennis court. I was not really expecting the tournament mode. Or I was thinking at the most we'd have a practice mode and the ability to face the AI and then a multiplayer.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, that tournament.
Not a put together. Plus, they got a global leaderboard, too.
Yeah, which we should mention. If you're one of those people who likes knowing that they're the best in the world, the game will tell you.
You can.
And,
How crazy. You can't be the best tennis player in the world, but you have a chance to be
in VR
ranked one of the best tennis players in the world.
And, back to me loving the developer, I love his responses. I was peeking through his Discord, and according to him, this is his opinion, that in his words, you only get about 60% of the game unless you hop into the Discord. The reason being tournaments, and they're going to do seasons.
Oh,
and
I
stuff
thought it was
like
going to be funny responses.
No, it's just weird though. It's like I wouldn't expect that. Like the other 40% of your game is in Discord. That should probably be in the game. But I love the dude. His responses are just so.
Yeah, he's a response gangster.
Yeah,
but he's funny.
I love it.
So I mean, it'd be different if it was like you read it and you were like, oh man, what an asshole. Yeah. But you read it and you're like, come on, that's funny. Yeah, and I'm an old Commodore 64 guy, so I find that funny.
Some of his responses are like broken English. I don't think English is his first language too. So sometimes when people learn English as a second or third language. What?
I hope he is.
Oh, I know, that would be even better. But I was gonna say, I've sometimes things can come across as rude that aren't rude.
Yeah.
Just unintentionally, because you're speaking kind of more business-like, informal.
Mm-hmm.
So I was wondering if some of it was that, but nah, his responses are just freaking awesome.
Oh yeah. No, yeah. The dude is. Look, I mean, I'll talk about the game more than the guy, but I think you summed it up. If you have a chance, go read the reviews. Definitely check out their Discord, because
go enjoy the other 40% of the game. I get what he's trying to say.
I get what he's saying.
Because he hosts tournaments, the community aspect.
It's like there's more to it than just what you're playing. But I'm guaranteeing not everyone who buys this is going to need anything more of an experience. Like everything's preset for you.
Yeah, I've put in
the training exercises they can put you through are freaking awesome. I love ball launching machines and stuff like that. Here's some irony. So we've been playing this for a little bit, and recently on my Xbox, this is a tennis game for free. And I'm like, oh, this is like perfect. This is now I can do some comparison. And it almost, believe it or not, seems pretty much like the same game, but not fun to play.
It's like most things, man.
I can do more stuff in that tennis game because there's more like directional options and shit you can do.
I'm sure there's probably a more in-depth campaign.
But it's not, I'll never know, because I'm like, I really don't want to play this. I want to play and feel like I'm playing tennis. And I don't care. Like, I was looking at the differences. Like, okay, this game doesn't have that, but the VR one doesn't have this. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, well,
they nailed the experience of playing tennis.
Go play a regular golf game, because I know you used to always play the golf games too, on like the Xbox and stuff like that. Go play a golf game now after playing, Golf Plus and Walkabout. It's not going to be as fun. I'll be honest with you. The first time I played a shooter flat screen after, spending so much time in Pop 1 and other shooters in VR, I was like, this isn't as fun.
No, it's
even
really...
boxing games aren't as fun on the console. Like, why would I not want to be the one doing the action?
Yeah.
So in tennis, it's like, man, this is one of those no-brainer games for VR.
You can backhand in this game, and the ball goes, it's so much more forgiving than it would be in real life. So if there's things in real life, if you did, it probably wouldn't work out as beautiful as it does in front of you in VR, but they're generous with it. It's like you can do a nice backhand,
overhand serve.
Yeah.
You underhand serve.
I don't underhand serve.
Okay.
I do a drop kind of like
Oh yeah, side. You go more
little
like
lob.
45.
I found a couple of exploits that work in my favor for the.
Do not, whatever you do, even if you leave a 5-star, don't go write about this exploit on his reviews. I don't need to see a 3. No, I'm
No, I don't even have to share it. To be honest with you.
No, you should, because it is an exploit.
It's
and
not the
even
fault
in
of the game.
Even
I just
in
take advantage of something. That's all.
Even in multiplayer, it's a hard shot to hit, but you can hit it in multiplayer. You can. It's not like an impossible
You almost
shot.
have no chance against the AI.
Yeah, the AI does not respond to it.
No, what I do is I do this serve where, and I'll do it with you all the time, where I just lob it up over the air and drop it right on the other side of the net. So technically, as the AI is walking up to the ball, or even some cases the human player, by the time they get there, it's bouncing over their head, so they have a missed shot.
Yeah, I learned how to hit that as
and
a
I can
human.
cleanly just if it's my turn to serve and it's the AI, they're not getting that ball's never coming back to me.
Yeah, you told me when you face the AI and you're doing the tournaments, when it's your turn to serve, it's a win. You only have to worry about when.
I don't have to worry about shit.
See, I can't serve like with their exploit serve. And dude, for anybody not like visualizing, like the ball just goes over the net, and once it bounces over the net, it goes so high up. There was actually one game where I was like, I'm actually done even trying to hit this, because it was the first time I had ever hit my ceiling fan in VR. You compliment my high ceilings in this game.
Yeah.
I was getting annoyed. I was like, this is a little bit of a dirty.
I could hear it in your voice.
But then I kind of figured it out. But the AI, they can't.
No.
So you can do this shot endlessly on the AI. I've noticed the AI can struggle with if I do an underhand shot and I launch it high up in the air, so it's shooting up and then it bounces.
They'll overshoot.
Yeah, but it's not 100% guaranteed rate like your serve exploit. That's definitely an exploit.
Yeah, and again, it's not a fault of the game. It's just
it wouldn't be an exploit if the AI could hit it. But if you have any technique that it's guaranteed that the computer can't,
if you can consistently hit that same serve, it doesn't matter whether you're serving to the right or left. It's going to be the same serve. It has zero chance of returning it. I mean, I'll take a video of a good five serves and the AI looking sad.
And again, it's not. I've hit the return on this one. The humans can hit it. The issue is that you're
a human. It's a bitch to hit sometimes too.
Yeah, but it's not guaranteed.
No,
but against the AI, you are guaranteed those points.
And the other one I do is, if someone, you can't do it all the time, but you can pull it off for the most part. Is you can lob it pretty high in the air, and have it drop right at the back line of the court, so that even if the person's there, it's like it's
so
probably
hard
gonna
to hit.
Yeah, it's almost impossible to hit.
Yeah, I've had some moments where
I've messed with you and been getting you upset.
Yeah, I've had some moments against the AI where not because I'm skilled enough to do it intentionally, just accidentally, like the ball just skims over the net, and I'm not talking like rolls across the net. It still goes over the net, but just not by much, and the AI won't even take a swing at it.
Well, because it's not.
They'll just stand
it becomes like a not hittable shot.
Other times I'll see them still swing at it, but sometimes they just stand there. But it's only when you do those right over the net exploit shots.
Yeah, you got to come like real close over that net.
Yeah,
but for some reason, I've got a consistent serve for doing it.
I can't get it consistent like you, but man, I'm jealous because like
it's mean.
I haven't won a tournament in tournament mode yet. I've made it to the semis.
I did.
Yeah, because if I could guarantee my win.
Yeah, it's a little dirty, but I can't help myself because it's how I'm serving. You know, I don't do an overhand serve because I got, low ceiling fan. See, they don't have to. You can serve it any way you want.
Yeah, I like the overhand serve, but I got the high.
Oh, yeah. When I play you, I see how you're serving.
It's nice.
I don't do that. No, little drop it in front and little hit it from the side.
It took me a lot of practice with the serve because I went to go do what I said not to do now that I've, touched the hot stove. And I played this game. I didn't do any practice. I went right into multiplayer with you. And I was like, I was like, dude, I keep messing up my serve. I think I lost a whole round I gave to you just in faults.
Yeah, you got to go to the practice modes and take advantage of the, not the harmless way you can practice and get better.
Yeah. But
returning shots or serving shots. And you can, it's just muscle as memory really. So I just do the same consistent thing. But again, when somebody else is serving like the AI, yeah, I have to earn it.
Yeah. You
So-
don't have
and
an
sometimes
you're
invested so deep in time, like over the 2-minute mark of playing, you don't want to lose it. I don't care if it's one.
Yeah, like
Tennis scoring's brutal, man.
yeah, because it
15-point jumps.
Because it goes 15, then 30, then 40, then advantage. But if it's tied, so if you guys both get to 40, it's deuce,
Yep.
and then
Deuce.
somebody gets an advantage, so they score again, it's an advantage.
Advantage.
If the other person scores, it's back to deuce.
Yeah.
So once you both hit deuce, in order to win that round, you have to do, pretty much 2 in a row. You have to, tie it, but then you have to get advantage and then win.
Mm-hmm.
So it's
You can have some good back and forth.
Yeah,
That really impressed me with the AI, though.
so and then a set will be, so each round that you win, you'll see the countings for the round, and then you can change this in the settings. I have mine in the tournament that 3 round wins is a set win.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a good amount of time between 3 sets. There's times that I've hit that 15, 20-minute mark in one whole set.
Yeah, the AI doesn't choke.
Because me and that AI were tied on 40 advantage for, 5 minutes just on one round. And it's like, dude.
And sometimes you
So then to lose a match like that, I've lost those matches that go that long, and that stings.
Yeah, I don't think I've had any that went down. I've definitely lost before, though.
Yeah, well, because people heard wands last week. I was bragging, and I'm freaking good at wands.
Yeah.
I'm decent at tennis, but in no way am I as good at tennis as I am at wands.
I don't think you're bad at tennis at all.
No, but I'm not winning the tournaments.
Oh, true.
So, I actually think I do better than the AI. But I think that you're better than the AI. I don't know what it is. The AI, like, dude, I'll be smoking the AI. And then, like, I don't know if there's a difficulty in this game. You can put it on beginner, or I think they call the next one advanced. There's only 2 difficulties. So I know it's not changing difficulty.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, dude, it feels like this homeboy goes into overdrive. I don't know what it is.
No, I'll hit that ball and instantly know it's coming back my way.
Mm-hmm. And you know what's cool, too? They give you a good amount of settings besides just your movement and stuff like that. This is one of the few games that I see you can go in the settings and change the graphics in it.
Yeah.
Like, you can lower the graphics quality.
I've played with it.
Well, not really lower the
'Cause they
graphics
even
quality.
have
You
they have,
lower
like,
the
ultra.
frames per second,
Yeah.
basically.
I've clicked on it and moved it around, and I don't know.
If it makes any noticeable difference.
I don't know. But it,
I
you give
usually
me a
just-
button that says ultra, I'm going to click it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Especially when it's a quest, too, so I know
Am I
that there's
allowed to?
Right?
My face is getting really hot. Is that normal?
Well, man, the guy tells you to press buttons and click around, and that's how to learn, so.
Yeah. No, that is, I like that setting, though.
Yeah.
Because a
Being
lot
able
of PC games used to do that, so you could
Well, they do that
run
because
it
that
weaker, so you can have a better.
They do that because there's variability in hardware. Not everybody has the same PC. It's not like a pre-built. It's interesting to see that in a pre-built.
Oh man, I don't want to have anybody go. You did not put it on the highest setting, did you? Yeah.
Hey, I'll say right now, if you give me an option to, and there's some negative to it, there better be a warning message because my ass is clicking that button.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
You can click it except you. I won't click it. You get what I'm? Yeah, I totally understand.
And you know what's cool, man? For $22.99, so it's a fair game cost. It's not like it's a $5 game or a free game, but it's also not like it's a $40 game. I think it's a very fair amount for what the game offers, but they also don't nickel and dime you. You log on, there's no online pass. They don't really throw you. There's no in-app purchases one bit. You buy the game and you're good.
Yeah, you're playing tennis.
I know that I have to. It's weird to specify, but
No, it's becoming more
of a game model. I like to buy a game flat and I have it.
Yeah, and if there's DLCs, it's something that won't take away from not owning the DLC. Because I've seen some of that in my lifetime where it's one of those. Well, if you don't get it, then
so
the game sucks.
Once you spend that $22.99, after tax, whatever, wherever you live,
you're a pro.
Yeah, you go in. You have the game. It's full game. They don't try to shove anything down your throat. Just go in and play tennis.
Yeah,
really, really clean, fun, beautiful tennis simulator. I'd say.
Listen, man.
Yeah, this was your picking.
Yeah,
you were messaging me the day you saw this. You were like, we gotta play this.
I wanted it so bad. I'm happy we were able to get it. I'm happy we were able to. Pretty sure we paid for this one.
Yep, we paid for this one.
This was out of pocket.
I don't always, disclose on the podcast, who's kind of leaning more towards a game. Sometimes it's 50-50, but sometimes it is one of us is like, I want this one. I love it.
Because I loved the concept, and I was like envisioning with my eyes like a full tennis court, and I'm like, wow, are you telling me I'm going to be able to play tennis and it's going to feel like I'm on a tennis court?
Mm-hmm.
Like it's not going to be tabletop, you know?
I wish I had a big enough play area to really test out running across the court to hit the next ball. You know, if you had a gymnasium or a warehouse or something like that, you definitely could. I don't know if the game would support it properly. But, like, I can't confirm or deny. I haven't been able to. I have a living room I play in, you know?
For the stage that VR's in and the fact that they can pull it off like this, it's like, dude, I mean, think of the future of, like, really photorealism.
Even this game's graphics aren't
educational.
bad.
No, they're not shoddy graphics. I wouldn't say they're
the top of the line, no. But they're not bad. The avatars aren't terrible.
Dude, the quality of the racket is absolutely beautiful.
Yeah, which is the thing, you know, you look at what you're going to see most in tennis, it's probably your rackets right next to your freaking face.
Yeah.
But, yeah, even the full body avatars with arms, legs, everything, there's nothing floating. Like, they don't really feel janky, even when I'm playing you. So it's not like a programmed AI with preset movements. It's the variability of a player.
Mm-hmm.
I don't really see much clipping. I don't really see, like, it looks glitchy or weird. You know, it looks pretty natural.
I haven't seen, like, because I've seen in a lot of, you see, like, the arms twisted behind the back.
That's what I mean by clipping, too, and, like, you know, start to, like, play Twister
which in
with
some
each
cases is people took their controller off for a minute, but when we're playing, we would know if the other one took their controller off.
I've never seen any weird, janky movements with the full-body avatars, which goes back to, it's pretty impressive that this game has a lot going on, and it's running pretty smooth on the Quest too. I love to see how good developers
it brings
are
a smile to my face. I'm happy they pulled it off, and where do you have to go from here but forward? Mm-hmm. So to me, it's just going to keep getting better and better. It doesn't even have to be this developer.
No,
but for the next person who makes one, they're going to learn. They're going to learn off it, and
so I did make a little error before. I forgot to mention something.
What's that?
The total ratings and reviews.
Oh.
That's not fair. For a game that just came out June 2nd, 2022 on the official Quest store, this game already has a 4.4 overall with 312 total ratings and 223 written reviews.
Okay.
Dude, that's pretty good.
It's damn good.
For, you know, a month in, a couple hundred reviews for a niche sport, you know, not everybody likes tennis.
I would say even if you didn't like tennis, you might not know you don't really like tennis because you've really never been able to play it, and you go to a court and someone's just an asshole and they just smash you.
Yeah.
You know, because I've seen that happen. And let's all be honest. That happens, like, that's your experience is like, well, I learned nothing.
Well, let's be real, too. Even for something like ping pong, that's what happens a lot of times people play ping pong. You go to play with a friend who knows how to play ping pong.
You're
and
done.
Not even fun. You go, boop, boop, done.
Done. So it's a great way to get an intro to the sport. Be like, shit, I've always, and it'll let you try. You'll be able to hit that ball. I promise. It'll come back and you'll hit it again, and you'll swing hard at it too.
It feels like the ball goes full speed until it gets like right in front of you, and it feels like that there's like this slow down focus moment. You know, it doesn't feel unnatural in the game. I can't explain it, but you keep your eye on the ball, and you know when it's swing time.
Yeah.
Even if they're hitting it fast, you know, you'll see it go fast the whole time, but right when it's time to hit, you see that ball right in
you
front of you.
You know when you're going to miss. You know when you hit it good.
Yep.
You know when you hit it just okay and it's going to come back at any time.
And I'll say for, you know, it being a 4.4 overall, you know, most of those 1 stars are not understanding the physics engine of what's going on.
No, they could, I mean.
It should probably be higher, but again, you know, maybe properly educate people in the review response that, hey, just calibrate your racket, not bet them twice the game price that it doesn't actually happen.
No, it's
because
sad.
if I'm a consumer, even if I'm wrong, but I don't know I'm wrong, you have to educate me why I'm wrong. Because if your response is combative, now I'm going to get combative. Now it's like, well, fuck that, Dev. Fuck that game. I'm not playing it. You know, I'll just refund that. Which I don't refund games either. That's not me. I'm just speaking hypothetically. Versus, yes, I know you said earlier, like, that person's not going to take the time. But you're not always just responding to the reviewer. You're responding to people like me who read the reviews.
Yeah. So
just take the time, boom, post in there. Hey, sorry you had that issue. You know, It's the way the game engine works. There's a calibration because of the way you hold your controller. This is how you do it. Come check out our Discord.
Yeah.
And I'll show you how,
I know, I get you.
I'll refund you twice the cost of the game if you can prove that happens.
I think it's fantastic.
Dude, I know.
Because did it happen? Did the guy...
You know why he does that is because he knows in the end if they record it and they
it'll
send him the
clearly
video,
show that you missed the shot.
Yeah, he'll go frame by frame and say, no, see, you turned your hand, and you know that it's because of the way the control, and then he'll explain it.
Come on, that was freaking awesome.
Well, you know what it is, man? Who knows how long this guy's been working on this to get on the Quest 2, because it's impressive that this is running. I keep saying that. So I get the impression it might be one dude based off of the way things are being responded to and everything like that. Mm-hmm. If one dude built this, it is so freaking incredible that he was able to pull that off. So I can only imagine the amount of like man hours and labor and hard work and dedication he put into this. So then to hear somebody go, "Oh, the physics suck,"
no,
I can understand hurt. But I think that this is probably a good example of the benefit of community managers.
And how would even if and it would, I don't believe it happened that it goes through the racket or went through this person. How's that the physics?
Yeah, that's not a physics
That would
issue.
be a hitbox connected to the racket.
Dude, 100%.
And that's the first thing I thought was like,
that's not even a physics issue.
I think the racket is like a hitbox, so how would that ever be
100%.
possible? It's never going to not be a hitbox.
But I think that this is a great example of the person who's putting in all of the hard work is the same one responding.
Oh, yeah.
So
community managers.
Community managers are important for that reason, because like it's easy for me to sit there and say, hey, bro, it's actually just, a miscalibration of the racket. Here's how you do it.
When you've got a real love and focus,
you
focus it on what you love and not having to deal with
you put in several years by yourself building this game from the ground up. I can understand you having some passion. Yeah, especially when you know you're right in the end,
I would.
too.
I know I would.
So when I say these, I don't fault the developer. I'm not like talking crap. It was in the end, I actually had appreciation for his responses because I knew the way it goes.
Yeah, no, his are just funny.
Yeah.
And I can respect it. The minute I heard Commodore 64, I'm like, oh, I respect this.
Yeah.
We're probably similar in age.
I'm so glad that, we always take the solid time to do our research before we record an episode. Mm-hmm. You don't want to play the game twice, not really know what you're talking about and record it. Then you record something, you sound like a fool, know? It's better, take the time, even if that means not getting the episode out right the day the game comes out. That's fine. I'd rather take the time to review it properly. So I'm so glad I know what's going on with this racket before I said anything incorrect on this podcast about there being any hitbox issue with the ball not, imagine if I was like, sometimes you go to hit the ball and it doesn't fully register. Fuck, dude, I'm so glad we know what we're talking about with that. Because,
No, I think he's a cool dude. We should talk to him.
Yeah, no, he seems like a fun guy.
No, I'm going to go with the 4-people studio. I know you say just him. I'm going 4.
I could see that. If you ask me, based off of quality, it's 8. But that might not be the case. But based off of the quality of the game, I'm going to guess 8. Based off of the responses, I'm guessing 1. So I think 4 is a good in between of that.
Okay, fair enough.
But I'll still guess it's just him with like little outsourced help.
Who knows? We'll find out.
That would be a fun one
someday
to talk to. And it'd be really fucking funny if he's from Wisconsin, dude. And I'm like, English might not be his first language just based off the way the responses work,
I would let you have it.
Oh my God, I'm going to pee myself
I will die laughing. Yeah.
I'm just trying to give the benefit of the doubt,
It's all good, man. It's all good. Dude's a cool dude.
Yeah, no. And again, man, great game. Variety in courts, amazing physics. It's addictive. I caught myself saying I would hop off after, the next game, but then I won that round in the tournament.
Mm-hmm.
Well, shit, I'm doing more. And that stuff's great for somebody like myself who I don't feel like I'm the best at the game. I don't really want to go do just multiplayer against real people. Sometimes I like to win, right? So, man, there's a lot of enjoyment with AI. 13 different tournaments is a lot. They let you have 3 different save slots too.
It's more than enough.
It's so much.
It's a lot of tennis.
I would have to play through this game so many times to get proficient enough to be able to win every single tournament.
Yeah, that could be tough.
I just can't. That takes a long time to play 13 tournaments.
Mm-hmm.
I'm telling you that I have some games that go 15, 20 minutes. You do the math. There's freaking 5 rounds per tournament and 13 different tournaments. This is a lot to play through if you go slowpoke like me. So they did a great job with this one.
Yeah, I got nothing. It's great because it's simple, and I'm liking some of the simple. And I say simple, I mean it's tennis. The concept of it is simple, right? Like most sports seem simple on paper till you play them.
Mm-hmm.
Then they're not.
They have that easy to learn, hard to master element.
Yeah, but tennis is it's freaking. I mean, I'm biased though. I actually enjoy tennis. I don't watch it on TV and go, oh my god, dude.
Yeah, you don't know the top players.
You don't even know.
Yeah. Yeah, but you're just saying you've always gotten enjoyment out of playing it.
Yes,
it's
playing
fun.
the
video games of it. Playing
but this
in real
is
life.
the most fun I've ever had playing tennis.
Yeah, and it's kind of what you referenced before too. It's kind of one of the more stripped down games. Like, you can find more in-depth tennis games, but they're not going to be as fun as they are in VR.
No, this is one of the rare instances where I might say, hey, VR tennis might be better than the real thing.
Well, especially if you've never played tennis before. You were referencing that before. It can be a lot to pick up. This game, they really hold your hand through it.
And nobody's watching you when you play this.
Yeah.
Just having fun.
Would you believe I've still gotten frustrated losing to the AI sometimes?
Absolutely. Well, you're invested.
20 minutes, bro.
Yep. You got to earn it.
So, all right. You want to get to our final thoughts and our review?
Yeah, sure.
So, like always, let's take this moment, take a little message from our sponsors, the people who, besides the listeners, help keep the show afloat.
What's up, everyone? Crotch discomfort hurting your game? Fear no more. The kings of crotch comfort, Manscaped, have spent 2 years designing the most comfortable boxer briefs out there. Sleek, soft, comfortable, and flexible, the brand new Boxers 2.0 from Manscaped take your balls to the royal ball throne. The global leaders in below-the-waist grooming have the Lawnmower 4.0 for the trimming, so you can wear those Boxer 2.0s for the chillin'. They even trademarked the jewel pouch, so you know it's serious. I think it's time you invest in your family jewels. So let your bulge breathe and get 20% off plus free shipping by using the code Ruff Talk VR at manscaped.com. Let's say you're on a date and your partner catches that Manscaped on the waistband of your underwear. It's almost guaranteed to raise some eyebrows and act like a billboard on the highway to Pleasure Town. Beyond ball cleaning, Manscaped is focused on ball comforting with the new Boxers 2.0. Boost confidence everywhere you are, knowing you're wearing the absolute best pack for your sack. These boxers are a game changer, and features include the jewel pouch, a pouch designed to cradle your boys in their own special space, lined with perforated performance fabric to keep them well ventilated. Is this heaven on earth? Nope, more like heaven on girth. The micromodal fabric is buttery soft and breathable, keeping your cucumber cool. Walk, run, strut. These moisture-wicking boxers breathe without breaking a sweat. The tagless waistband hugs your body without digging in, and it lays flat against your skin to reduce chafing. Be proud of your underwear and wear the Manscaped waistband with a badge of honor. Your balls deserve it. Get 20% off plus free shipping with the code RuffTalkVR at manscaped.com. That's 20% off plus free shipping with our code RuffTalkVR at manscaped.com. Up your crotch game, because once the Boxers 2.0 touch your sack, you'll never go back.
This podcast is brought to you by Kiwi Design, the leader in metaquest and VR accessories. And now you can deck out your device while supporting the podcast. The metaquest 2 is a great headset, but do you ever feel things could be a bit more comfortable? Well, we have the solution for you. With lens protectors, controller grips, face covers, head straps, link cables, headset stands, and more, including my 2 personal favorites, the top version controller grips with added weight and an extended handle, and the Kiwi upgraded Elite strap. Let's be real, we've all whacked our controller. Don't be the guy messaging Oculus support for your own mistake or waiting weeks for an out-of-stock controller. Visit the link in our show notes to prepare yourself today. After visiting the link in our show notes, make sure to use the promo code RuffTalkVR at checkout, all one word, to take full advantage of your savings. And make sure to click the link in our show notes so the podcast gets credit and you help support us. Remember, whatever you need, Kiwi has you covered. Perfect. Now that we got that done, like I always like to say too, be sure to check us out on our official subreddit, our official Discord. ever growing. We run giveaways all the time. Mm-hmm. So
I feel another one coming.
Yep. People don't always listen to these episodes right when they come out, so I won't talk about any giveaways that, may be going on at that moment. Mm-mm. But just in general, go hop over to our communities. They're getting much more active with other people besides us too. So,
I've noticed that.
It's getting fun. Sometimes I'll hop in and you actually said, man, I got to scroll up.
Yeah, I got to do a lot of reading.
Pretty cool. So, go check out our Discord server. Go check out our official subreddit, and have some fun with us. And, I actually forgot to mention this last week. This is a little bit more of a time-sensitive one. I'll put
this is a call to action type of situation.
Help us.
Aruga.
So, not many people know this, but there is a yearly podcast awards. Just like there's VR awards, there's, if you have a niche, there's somebody probably has an awards for it. There's a podcast awards, and it's an official podcast awards. I'm talking a Wikipedia page and everything. Every year, they do their annual one. Would you believe that? We're on the list of nominees or potential nominees for this year's in two different categories. We have the best leisure podcast, which is our category of podcasting, as well as the People's Choice Award for for podcasts. So we're nominees in both of those, but in order to get to the final slate of nominees, this is where we need your help. It's kind of out of our hands now. It's all listener nominations, so they take the top 10 podcasts or top 5. Whatever they choose to do, they take the top podcast of the nominees and they move it to the final round. In order to get there, like I said, we need listener nominations. So if you've been enjoying the podcast, you want to see us, take home a pretty big podcast award, go visit that link in our show notes and vote for Ruff Talk VR.
Awesome.
Yeah, pretty straightforward stuff there. So now into the fun stuff. This will be our final thoughts and review. Like always, we have 5 categories that we rate games, each broken into a rating of 1 to 20, with the final score being, the total score of all 5 categories being the final score. So gameplay, aesthetics, functionality, replayability, and value are the categories. I'll start with gameplay. I'll go quick on gameplay. 20. It is a tennis game. They do everything good in physics. I can't ask for much more out of the gameplay. No, the ball's not going through my racket or anything like that. There's the second I hit the ball, boom, I know if it was a good shot, a bad shot. It goes where it feels like it should. I never have any weird moments of I don't know why that happened. A lot of different play styles. So gameplay, clean 20. Aesthetics, feel like that this is my one category that I'm getting more jaded in the longer we review games. I feel like maybe when we first started the podcast, I would have been much more accepting of graphics and rated them as really exceptional, but I can feel it in me. I'm getting bitter. But for them, I'm giving them a 15 in aesthetics. And we referenced before that they're really good aesthetics. They give you a whole court, crowd, commentators, beautiful environment. But I just wouldn't rank it in, top 5 graphics I've ever seen on the Quest. So, unfortunately, I got to give them a 15. Nothing bad there. 15 out of 20. Functionality, I'm actually going to give them a 20 as well, because I don't think I've had any glitches. It's like I can feel like I have, but as I talk it over, as we do the review, it's like, man, how many of those glitches am I really confident to die on the hill and say that I had a glitch or it felt like something skipped? Maybe my tracking on my controller bugged out. I don't really think I had any actual glitches. Like I said, I was pretty confident a couple weeks, when we first started playing the game. I was even telling you, man, I think I'm having some issues with the ball going through my racket, or I feel like maybe my tracking, my control messed up, but I don't know. But the longer I play and the better I get at it and the more I understand what's going on in the engine, I don't think I had any glitches. So I'm going to give them a 20 on functionality. Replayability, this was one I kind of struggled on as well. I was going back and forth on 15 or 20. I'm going to end up settling on 15 for them, with the reason being that, there are tournaments in the game and there are going to be season modes in the game, but they're not really in the game. They're in the Discord server. I think having something like that actually integrated into the game would add to the replayability quite a bit. So I'm going to give them a 15 out of 20 on replayability, just because that there's things more that they could add in game to still push them. I mean, if I give them a 20 now, then they add those things. I can't really give them a 25 out of 20. That doesn't really make sense. But at the same time, man, if you're a tennis fan, I could totally see somebody giving a 20. And I would even agree with it because there is enough to keep going. And I think that this one's a very subjective rating here, but I'm going to lean more towards 15 just because if I can think of a feature that could be added, it's hard to give the 20. So 15 out of 20 on replayability, but fuck, man, you say 20 out of 20 on replayability, we can skip over that. I'm not arguing with you for a minute on that one. Value, I'm going to give a 20 as well because, geez, we've had the game a good decent amount of time now, and I'm still having fun. I didn't feel like I got ripped off. I didn't feel like I got lied to. The game was sold as $22.99. I spent $22.99 and after tax, and then with tax, and then I hopped in the game and I had multiplayer. I didn't have to buy rackets. I didn't have to buy in-game currency. Nothing. And they give you a shit ton for $20 too. So they're 20, 23. So 20 value. I'm going to give it 20 as well. So my total score being a 90.
It's a damn good score.
Yeah, 20, 15. Not bad.
No, your math is good.
Yeah. I was just about to go through it, and I was like, just don't even complicate yourself.
No, math is fine. So, gameplay, I'm pretty much right on board with you. There was some things I was on the cusp with, but
you ever...
when you make your final decisions,
Yeah,
until they come out of my mouth, it ain't final.
I was just about to say that.
Where I'm going. Listen, I was excited for it before we were able to get it in our hands, just dying to start playing it. So I had that like little kid on Christmas morning. I want as dumb as it is, it's tennis, but I just had high expectations. But they nailed it. They really did. For their first like VR tennis game that I've played, to me they have nowhere to go but up. So gameplay is an easy 20. Aesthetics, I don't think I'm bitter. I think I'm honest. It's a 15. I would challenge even maybe people who made the game to go, no, man, these are cutting edge. You are looking at cutting edge graphics here. No, nobody's going to try to fool me with that. The tennis racket is damn nice looking. The outfits are damn nice looking, but there's nothing wrong with the graphics. It's a 15. I would be content with that. Functionality, I'll agree with you. Anything that anybody else has experienced, that's on them. I've experienced nothing to that nature.
Probably because you know how to hold a tennis racket.
Yeah, it might be because it's funny. It might be because I do know how to hold a tennis racket, and that's no insult to anybody that thinks that it's gone through the racket. But I can understand the argument of how it didn't. That was actually it was funny. So functionality, I gotta give them a 20. There's movement. There's freaking tennis ball being hit as hard as you want across the thing. It's reacting like it should. You kind of lob it in the air. It lobs in the air. It's good. I mean, nothing but enjoyability without. I've never been kicked out. Never had any toxic moments. So yeah, functionality is great. It's a 20. Replayability. This is where you and I will differ. I think even playing the AI for a quick little play, it's good. If you really want to get technical, I mean, if you swing nice and fluidly, it's almost like a nice stretch if you did it properly. So one could say, hey, I'll play a couple rounds of tennis before I get into something maybe like boxing or a little more physical. So I personally give him the 20, but that's the biased. So I respect your 15 just as much as you'd respect the 20. And value for money, $22.99. How can you not respect that? That is great value for money. No, for a tennis fan or someone who enjoys the game of tennis, they're going to feel like they would have paid, $44.99 and probably not felt ripped off. And there's going to be a lot of tennis people who play this. You can just feel it. It's got that nice competitive vibe. You don't have to go outdoors. You don't have to drive, but you can play your friend you haven't played in 20 years who's 3,000 miles away. It's friggin' amazing. So yeah, $20, $22.99. Come on. I challenge to find, and like you said, it's not like there's hidden, you got to buy that racket, and if you do, it'll serve better. No, it's ready to roll out of the box, put in the key, and enjoy your game, or whatever, hit purchase. So 20, they get a 95 for me. And the only area they even got any flack for me at all was just, okay, it's not photorealism, but
Yeah,
that's
you've
not,
seen
I'm not
better
knocking
graphics.
nothing. Yeah, I've seen better graphics, so how can I fairly say that
Mhm.
if I start dropping 20s for their aesthetics, then
You have to stay consistent in other reviews.
yeah, and it just wouldn't work.
No,
It's
but
like, no.
But they did a great job, and
This is like the third week in a row. I think I've hit something at 90 or a 95.
yeah, we've been doing so we have
I'm getting some.
this is
gangster
nobody
games.
business but our own, but for the first real
So
time
I'll tell you about it.
yeah we got like a backlog, like we're playing a lot of different games, we're trying our best, man. I say it all the time. I hope one day this podcast is full time and we can do.
It's not a joke.
Yeah, dedicate our time. I love supporting these developers. I love reviewing these games. There's
so many good ones.
yeah. So I mean,
And that's the problem too, is you're seeing more of a consistency of like good and great games than
well, man, that interview we had with Chris Pruitt the other week was a very, very eye-opening interview for me. It answered a lot of questions we had about like App Lab and stuff like that. And on Monday we interviewed Ruin Magus, the community manager for them. And I was kind of referencing like, yeah, this isn't going to be a game that's for everybody. We're checking off niches and everything like that. And I kind of feel that way about this game too. Not everybody likes tennis. I love tennis. You love tennis games. So for us, this was a no-brainer. There's some people who it's like, oh man, you probably couldn't pay them to play virtual tennis. But that's fine.
It's great because this fills the.
We got that niche checked now. So we're getting to that point in the Quest store where I don't think every game is made for every person. Whereas like when I first got into the Quest, that was kind of the vibe I got. Even if there were genres of games, obviously not everybody likes horror games and everything, but they were made in a way that's approachable for everybody. Whereas I'm starting to feel like, we're getting these games that aren't. They're not made to be accessible to everybody. They're made for people who enjoy that niche.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, 11 table tennis. That's.
How bad is it that I have to like check myself before I say
You saw me doing it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Checking in my brain to make sure I wasn't saying Elvin.
Yeah. So, this is what I mean. We've probably gotten some new listeners since the last time we talked about this. There was a point where, we had 11 table tennis review coming up, but me and you get silly with things. You'll hear it throughout the podcast on different
we were
episodes.
also playing, I think, Elvin
Archer
a lot too.
But so we start to make an internal reference to something, call it something that's not what it's actually called, like line judge, and that just becomes the name of it, and it flows out.
Pretty sure it's a line judge.
Yeah, it could be. I don't know though, but that's the name now. Yep. So you start to call Elvin table tennis enough, that's Elvin table tennis.
Yeah. For the first, there's half a dozen reasons why I can justify that happened, but it happened.
Yeah.
It was so funny.
It was so funny, man. And then, so we referenced Elvin table tennis, and somebody commented, "You mean 11?"
11?
And like my heart sunk, and I was like, "Fuck, that is what it's called."
Yeah, it's not Elvin.
I was like, "Why would I call?" And I was like, "Yup." We're so stupid, man.
No,
but
just always having fun.
Yeah. So I don't think I can say on this podcast the number 11 without saying Elvin. It's like it's ingrained into my freaking skull.
Nope, I hear you.
And we've been ranting quite a bit on this game, but one thing that I didn't really touch on, and it's part of the reason that I can so easily justify them 20 for gameplay. I was getting adrenaline while I was playing because like I'm competitive. I want to beat the
You're
AI.
yelling at a computer line judge.
Well, I wasn't really yelling at him. I was having fun.
You're having a debate.
Yeah,
you're trying to get your shit reversed.
Bullshit, that's being silly. But like I was feeling like legit, like my heart's beating fast, like my pits are sweating a little bit. I don't want to lose this match.
No.
And I was like, fuck, this is fun.
No, they bring out the competitive nature of the match, but in fair gameplay that lets you enjoy the match. I mean, again, it's not like you go out there and just get slaughtered.
No, and you're not.
No, you're having back and forth.
You're not going to slaughter the AI like that either. There's times where, man, I'll hit a nice serve, or I'll serve, they'll return, and boom, I got it right on that corner, and I got it out. That's rare. Most of the time, it's a pretty good volley back and forth,
Yeah, the strategy of the game has to come in. Like hit it a little lighter so it maybe falls not as all the way to the end of the court. Go for those corner shots, like you say. Go for a lob over the.
Yeah, you just aim at your opponent and hit it towards your opponent every shot. It's going to be a long time before anybody
coming
scores.
Right back.
Yep. You better hope that you're as good at hitting it as him, because I promise you he's going to hit it.
No, I've had nothing but joy playing it.
Yeah, no.
I think it was definitely money well spent.
I'm definitely glad that this was your, you were sending this to me the second you saw it and said, we got to get this. And I'm glad we pulled the trigger because, dude, I didn't think I would spend so much time in it. And here I am. I had a blast with it.
Yeah.
And I like tennis games and stuff. It's just I usually hit a wall with tennis games that I just didn't seem to hit with this one.
No, and you got the whole human competitive nature, too, of, like, doing matches against other people.
Yeah.
Complete strangers.
We were doing the one more match thing against each other all night. We were like, all right, we'll do one more.
Yeah,
you got time for one more? You got time for one more? All right.
They're not, even long matches. Let's be honest. If you go 15 minutes, that's a long one.
Yeah, dude, the ones where I went 15, 20 minutes stood out to me because that's an exceptionally long one for me.
So it's still not the end of the world.
And I think that's more because I'm not the best at the game. So, like, I'll get to deuce, then I'll get an advantage. Then he ties it up. Then he gets an advantage. Then I get deuce. Then I get advantage. Yeah. And we'll just go back and forth with this for like 5 minutes.
You got to earn it. There's no gimmies in tennis.
Nope.
Come on. It might not be a violent sport, but it doesn't mean it's not damn competitive. I would never be able to return a serve from a professional.
No, I would love to see a pro just do one serve in this even. Just see if there's any difference in speed.
I don't know if the controller could handle it.
The speed that they would whip there.
The force and speed that they probably use. I mean, they'd probably knock you out if you got hit by a tennis ball from a...
100%. A 90-mile-per-hour tennis ball whipping at you?
It's going faster than 90.
You're done.
They're in the hundreds. It's got to be 100 and something. But anyways.
Regardless, this was a great
game. Get out there and play some tennis.
Yeah. 90 and 95 from us, and I think easily could have been a 95 from me, too.
Mm-hmm.
If I had just gone, 20 on
mine could have been a 90, and yours could have been a 95, and vice versa.
Mm-hmm. So, I mean, but geez, that's two great scores. Two great scores. Again, you've been enjoying the episode. Check out our sponsors. Check out our Discord server, our official subreddit, and man, go vote for us on the yearly podcast awards. Let's see your boys take home two nice...
that'd be freaking awesome.
Yeah, I'm not holding my breath or anything, but it's out of our hands now, and I trust our lilisteners.
We have no influence other than begging you to
please
possibly do that.
May I have another vote, please? So, other than that, I hope you guys enjoyed this week of episodes, and check you out next week.
Take care.